back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Tuesday, June 10th, I believe. Yes, it is the 10th. This is a podcast about knitting books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias you can follow me on, but I'm most active on Instagram and on Ravelry. If you want to follow what I get up to during the weeks that I don't record, following me on there is the best place to be. I also have show notes, so links to things that I will be talking about will be listed, links included on my blog, and a list of everything will be down below in the description of this YouTube video. I am also a knitting pattern tech editor, so if you know of someone who is in need of an editor for an upcoming knitting pattern, I would love to work with you. You can either send me a message and we can start talking, or you can check out the Graceful Edits tab, which is located on my blog and is also linked down below. If you're on YouTube. Feel like I'm out of practice, I'm out of breath, and such is taking breaks from recording. But we power on, we power on. So without further ado, if you'd like to get something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, whatever it may be, I hope it is bringing you joy and or rest, or I'm helping you get through a task that is not as much fun. I have already folded all my laundry, so I am good on that. But here I am, I will be talking to you. Maybe you're folding laundry, I don't know. I have a Cherry Coke today. Cherry Coke Zero, one of my favorite beverages. So, you do all those things, none of those things, whatever it may be, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Hello, my friends. How are you? Hope you're well. Things have been busy. A lot of knitting has gotten done. A lot of really great knitting has gotten done. I did not record last week because it should have been a recording week, but we were traveling with some friends to the hill country in Texas for a little a wine weekend and just a fun general weekend. So that happened. I was not at home, and it just was a busy time. So here I am this week. Who knows? The summer recording schedule is always just kind of all over the place anyway. So I apologize for that. But anyway, thanks for hanging in there with me. Obviously, I have a finished object. I also have not just this one, but I've got two other finished objects that I get to share with you today, which I'm very excited about. But first and foremost, ta-da! This is my Colette Tea by Sari Nordlund. I knitted out of Knitting for Olive pure silk in the poppy blue colorway. I held 2 strands of it together, and I love it. I wanted to wear it on this trip that we went with our friends, and I finished it plenty of time to spare. It was the perfect outfit that I had planned for it, and it was exactly what I was looking for. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen pictures of it already, so you can go check it out there. It'll also be on my Ravelry page, but I love it. I'll stand up so you can feel like I'm very close. How will this work? I don't know. Ta-da. Very nice over my comfortable romper that I have on. But yeah, so this is my Colette Tea, again by Sari Nordlund. Super easy, very straightforward construction, top down. I think I might have lengthened the body a little bit. And yes, knit everything else to pattern. The sleeves have kind of flared a little bit more than I thought that they would, but I honestly kind of like it. I didn't think I was going to like it when I first saw it, but now that I've had it on more and worn it around multiple times, I think it fits the vibe quite well. I love this color. I love this yarn. This is not This may be my first project with this yarn. I can't remember. I think I'm probably wrong, but I haven't knit too many projects with the Knitting for All of Pure Silk before. It's a dream. If you haven't and you're for whatever reason on the fence, do not be on the fence. It is a great yarn. Would highly, highly recommend. Great colors too, obviously. So this is, again, this is Poppy Blue. And yeah, I want to make more, and I want to make a woolly version, a wintry woolly version that I can wear during not hot months. So whenever that may be, because goodness knows with the weather. Anyway, finished object number 1, done and dusted. Finished object number 2 is a test knit that I have been doing, that I did for Briana, Arlene, or Briana, Arlene. These are the Mesa Dreams socks. They are done. Very excited. They are coming out, I believe, June 17th. I believe that's what my email said today. If I remember correctly, it's coming out soon. So if you are wanting to dip your toe into colorwork socks, this is a really, really good option, especially if you're wanting something that has colorwork all over. Super easy, a great way to practice your tension, and super fun. We are struggling here. Come on, there we go. I used, my brown is an unknown brown, but it is a dark brown, dark brown. And then my rosy color is Rosewood from Suburban Stitcher. I am so happy with how these turned out. They're mirrored, the colors are mirrored, which is very fun. The pattern is written for a forethought heel, so you place the heel as you're knitting the sock, and then you go back and you do the same process as if you were doing an afterthought heel. I did not do that. I did my favorite shadow wrap heel, which works well for colorwork socks as well, and then just your basic toe and such. So these are done. I'm very excited. I love them. They're gonna look so cute with my Doc Martens that I have. They'll look really cute with my wintry Birkenstocks that I have. They'll look cute with sneakers. They'll look cute with everything. Would make another pair. I feel like a low contrast one with like a really light gray and like a white would be really fun. Which I happen to have some options in this little shelf right here. So may look into that later. But these are done. What's also very exciting, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but I have another test knit for Briana coming up that I'm using the same brown. Or no, wait, I've got 2 new test knits, and I think it's a different one actually. I thought about using this brown for the other one, but I did not. So the brown is being used, and I think actually the Rosewood is being used as well. Another pair of finished socks, my friends. These are my Kindred Spirit socks. They are plain vanilla, but the yarn is called Kindred Spirits. It is from Mustache Yarns. It is inspired by Anne of Green Gables and Shirley, if you're familiar. I did a really nice long leg, shadow wrap heel. Love it. Truly delightful. Nothing really too much to say other than I love them. And again, will look so cute with the shoes that I have already mentioned. And we're working to have a very cushy, no pun intended, cushy collection of socks ready to go for the non-hot months, moments, times, whenever that may be, whenever they choose to make themselves known. It's not anytime soon, but I will be ready with the new socks. And that is it for my finished objects. I am really happy with what I got done. I finished, I think I was working, was it these? No, these were already done. I did not bring these with me on the trip. I did finish them right before to free up some sock needles, because I do have some new cast-ons. I did obviously finish this for the trip. These were already done for the trip. I don't think I actually technically finished a full thing. I did finish half of one thing. That means anything to you. It's a pair of socks. Surprise, surprise. So those are all my finished objects. Very happy, very excited. I love my sweater so much, so much, so much. So let us get into the works in progress and such, and we will move right along. This test knit I'm working on for Shayna of Shanalines Designs. You would be familiar. I've test knit for her before. She's a friend. She's wonderful. Great patterns. If you are unfamiliar, please go check out her patterns. I am test knitting. I'm currently test knitting her Coexist cowl that is coming out, I believe, sometime this month. This kind of goes along with the look of the analogous shawl that I finished a couple weeks ago, that I knit with my Handspun. I'm doing the same thing with this as well. I'm using my Handspun that I spun up specifically for this project. And I am on the downward slope. So I have done the amount of increasing, I believe, that I needed to do, and now we're doing our thing. So I am really excited with how this is turning out. This was the autumnal vibes that I was wanting, and I think the Handspun, though is not my best Handspun, is delivering with the color. So I'm very excited about that. The fiber that I used is Three Waters Farm. This doesn't look like much, but there is enough to roughly finish what I need to do. So I'm getting close to the end, and it is a blend that I hadn't spun in a really long time, hence the drastic inconsistencies. But that's okay, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's BFL and silk, Tussa silk, and I think because of the silk, it just was, I was having a hard time with it. And that's just me, that's my experience, that's my lack of consistent practicing. So it is what it is. I have another braid that is the same fiber content, so I will be pulling that out for Tour de Fleece, which is coming up. I have plans, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. We'll give it another shot, and yeah, it's not bad by any means. It's just not up to what I had, the expectations that I had set for myself. I think also because I had, not to pat myself on the back, but patting myself on the back, I had done a really good job with my Handspun for the analogous shawl. So I was just like, it's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna do the best job I've ever done. And then this happened. It was not what I was looking for, but that's okay. You know what? It is still within the project. You would know, no one would know. It looks great. I love it. So I have the Handspun obviously, and then I have this beautiful golden ochre-y color from the Uncommon Thread. This has been in my stash for a very, very long time. We're using the nice things this year, and yeah, we're just plugging along. We are plugging along and having a great time. So, boop. just enjoying life, and it's a really easy pattern. It's very easy to memorize. You do not have to use Handspun if you don't want to, or you could use them for both colors if you wanted. It's really up to you. I've seen some testers for the analogous shawl and for this as well using different colors. Like if you have like a mini skein set, I think that'd be very fun. Versions I've seen are just absolutely gorgeous. So it's a really fun way to play with color palettes or to have a gradient of some sort. If you don't have Handspun or something that looks like Handspun, it's a fun time. So the Coexist cowl, I think it's actually just going to be called Coexist. I don't think it's the Coexist cowl, but this is going to be a cowl by Shanalines Designs. And yeah, just having a fun time. Fun time indeed. That is that. Next up, I do have yarn acquisitions. Obviously that will come at the end. I've got test knit information. I kind of threw everything into this one bag to neatly pull everything over here, and now everything is smashed in this bag. And of course everything I'm about to talk to you about is on the bottom of this bag. So that is not very helpful, but that's on me for not planning very well, you know? Okay, so I worked on that. This was a yarn acquisition. I did work on this. Didn't work on that. I don't know why that's even in there. Okay. So now I'm laying everything out. There's really not a whole lot to talk about. So this may be a shorter episode than we normally have, but even though I had 3 finished objects, what? I did make some very nice progress on my Elton Cardigan by Locatelli. Dun, dun, dun. This is such a really great road tripping project, you know? It's just so mindless. And it's just so back and forth. If you have knit the Elton pullover, which I also have done that, that's in the round. Super easy, just easy to pick up, put down, wherever you may be. This is knit flat, obviously, because it is a cardigan. That makes sense, unless you were steeking it for whatever reason. And I'm just plugging along. I do believe I have less than 5 inches left, I think. I do kind of want to try it on and make sure. I don't want to make it longer, but I am kind of starting to worry about some yarn chicken I might be playing. But I'm not worried about that too much, because the yarn I'm using is very easily accessible from a multitude of places. This is Cascade Heritage in the Christmas red colorway and the peach pearl colorway. I've got another full one of these, but this is the only one of this that I have. But I think it should be fine. So lengthening it may not be in my future, but I do need to try it on and make sure, even if I want to lengthen it, because I don't even know that at this point. Like I said, I got a good amount of progress, all things considered. Not a ton, but some. I was working on some other projects, but this did come with me on our trip and was in my rotation of projects to work on. So I did work on pretty much everything that I brought. When I'm in the car, when we're road tripping, I do the timer method. I feel like I should come up with a fancy name for it, but the timer method of setting a timer for however long, whether it's 15, 20, 25, 30, however long you want it to be. I was doing 30-minute increments, I think, for the most part, and work on one project for that amount of time. Then you take 5-minute break, look at your phone, browse Instagram, whatever it may be, sing a few songs, chat with the person who's driving, if you haven't been chatting already, whatever it is, take a little break, and then set another timer for however long and rotate your project. So this was one of them, and I had a really great time. So I think the next step with this is to try it on and confirm the length that I want and where I am, and if I truly am only, or like less than 5 inches away from starting the ribbing. But I need to double check that, and that takes time, you know. Oh, excuse me. Oh. That was a yawn out of nowhere. I am sleepy today. It is just a low energy day. So, it happens to all of us. So that was one project that I brought with me. This next project I did not bring with me, but my friends, this project, is it the bane of my existence? I feel like is a little bit of a little too extreme to say, but I do have some just general indifference towards it at this point. It will get done. I know that because I really want to wear it. But I just cannot bring myself to work on it. It is really a struggle, my friends. And that is my... Let's hold it up well so you can see what it is. And we'll show you the right side. And we'll not have it tangled up on that. Okay, there we go. My Misurina tee, my friends. It's a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. It's a little summery top. You can knit it in a lightweight fiber, or you could go the more woolly route. There are lots of options. I'm using Sandus Garn Tynn line, obviously in 2 colors that are low contrast. It's short sleeves. It's kind of cropped. I've made significant progress since we've last seen this. Like, don't get me wrong. I am proud of this because it's not that it's been a slog, but it's kind of been a slog a little bit. And the problem is that when I work on it, it goes really fast, but it's the issue is getting myself to work on it. And now, my friends, I have motivation to get this done that has nothing to do with this project. The motivation is to clear these needles off because I have another project that I really, really, really want to start, and I will not do it until these needles are free. The self-control it is taking is quite intense, and I'm very proud of myself for sticking to it because goodness knows I could just pop this thing on a Scooby and I'd just go to town, but no, this must get done. And it's taking so long. I thought it was gonna go so fast and it hasn't, and I'm so sad about that. I don't know if it's because I am doing this like pearl bump texture on the body, which I don't think that's what it is, because I feel like if I wasn't doing it, I wouldn't see as much progress, because I know that like I do a certain amount of rows and then I do the pearl bump row, and then I do a certain amount of rows and then I do the second pearl bump row. And like, to me, that helps kind of like mentally overcome this knitting hurdle that I have. They're obtainable goals to get like 1 full repeat done. Like, I feel very productive if I get 1 full repeat done. And that's like hardly anything, really, in the grand scheme of things. The rows are really long. That is a problem. The yarn's a little splitty. That's kind of frustrating sometimes. Still great yarn, still a great pattern. Will be a great sweater. It has just been the bane of my existence. It's been a bit of a problem. But that's okay. You know, we'll get there in the end. It will be beautiful. It will be gorgeous, and I'll be really excited to wear it. I probably honestly should try it on again just to double check. I know I did try it on before and I did measure and I know what the body needs to be, but I kind of don't want to do that. But also I know that if I don't do it to exactly how I want it, I'm not gonna love it and I'm not gonna wear it, and that will be so sad after going through this entire process to not like it and not wear it. So we gotta make it exactly how we want it to be. Again, the Misurina Tea by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks. Sandus Garn Tin Line in a white and a pink. Just working on the body. This is a great turn on the timer. Just go to town. Try not to think about it too much. Have something distracting on. Maybe a K-drama, so I have to read the subtitles, something like that. It's nice to have a distraction. I really should have brought this with me on the trip because I get so much done, because obviously you're sitting in a car and you can't really do anything. And in my case, if I do too much, I risk getting car sick. So I'm really, truly very limited in what I can do. But knitting is fine. I just can't look down for too long. And this would not have been one of those projects. This would have been perfect, but I didn't bring it with me because I wanted to bring happy projects. Sounds so bad. I've complained about this project so much. I'm sure you're tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'd just like to show you the finished product. Both. I like to show you the finished item. So next up, what I also worked on our trip is another pair of socks. I worked on a lot of socks on this trip because my friends, it's really easy to have this in your bag, and especially when your friends are just like, cool, pull out your knitting. We're sitting down, pull out your knitting. Don't think it's weird. It's really nice. So I've had this done for a while and I had only gotten through half of my leg, I think, or maybe not even half of the leg. It was very small into the beginning of the next sock, but once I finished one half of another pair of socks that I'll show you in a hot second, this became my top priority because it was easy again to throw in my bag, and the other pair of socks had a little bit of patterning up at the top, and so it would have been harder to do while being out and about, wandering, shopping, all that kind of stuff. So these are them. These are my Sebastian socks, which, if you are familiar and have heard me talk about these socks before, I feel very confused about these. And not confused in the project, but confused in the yarn and the Little Mermaid characters and who is who and what is what. And I'm going to try and get it right. Sebastian is a lobster. And Scuttle is the bird, I believe. And Flounder is the fish. But Sebastian is the lobster, or a crab. I'm pretty sure he's a lobster. Should we look this up? I meant to look this up beforehand and I completely forgot. Sebastian. Little Mermaid. What are you? He's a crab. Nope, that's not. What? He is a crab. Is he a crab? He's a crab, not a lobster. Why did I think he was a lobster? Did I say that before? In a previous episode? I think I did. He's a crab. Sebastian the crab. And it's kind of silly that it's taken me so long to remember all these little details. But here we are. This is knit out of Knit Picks Felici, and the colorway truly is called Sebastian. And Ta-da, right there. These were in my stocking, my Christmas stocking from my parents. And so I've just enjoyed working on them. I'm pretty sure I started these very close to shortly after Christmas. So this has been a long time in coming, but that's okay. I think the texture for some reason really slowed me down, which was just a broken rib of sorts. It's a 1x1, and then you knit 1 row, and then a 1x1, and then you knit a row until however long you want it to be. And yes, and in true fashion, second sock always goes faster. It was very easy for me to work on this. When did I? Yeah, it was just very a good project to have. And then I have Knit Picks Felici as well in the Dandelion colorway for the heel to represent scuttle and or flounder, however you want to describe it. I think it kind of covers both. So very Little Mermaid-esque socks. Oh my goodness. That's just so embarrassing. And I'm going to admit it to you all. It's embarrassing. That's sad. I should know that. But apparently I don't. Anyway, so I'm just plugging along on the foot now. Clearly my heel is done, my shadow wrap heel. And I'm just tootling along. I've had my little, this has become one of my favorite little progress keepers. I got this from DFW, and I'm completely blanking on the name. I'm gonna look it up and I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But I got it from here at DFW last year, I think. And it's this little Jigglypuff. Because we love Pokemon in this household. We are Pokemon fans. And I had this on my other sock that I was working on, and something got snagged in my bag and it popped off, and for a good like 2 hours while we were out and about, I had just come to terms with the fact I had lost my Jigglypuff, and it was very sad. And then when we got back to the hotel and I was emptying out my bag and putting stuff away, it fell out and it was just in the bottom, and I was so excited. Didn't lose my Jigglypuff. I love my Jigglypuff. We love my Sebastian Socks, who is a crab. He's not the bird. He's not the fish. He's a crab. And soon they will be done, and soon they will be added into my ever-growing sock collection. And we do love good sock progress. Next up, my friends, we are entering into new cast-on territory. It's a fun place to be, you know? I had started this, I don't think I actually need this in here anymore. This can be removed. I had wound up quite a while ago a sock set that I got from Fashion School Dropout. She was at Cake Palooza, which is a Rhinebeck adjacent event, last year and the year before, but this particular sock set was for last year, for 2024, and the colors were just so cute and I loved it so much, and she very kindly put a few up on her website after the fact for those of us who were not at the event. So if we wanted to get a sock set, we could, and I nabbed one up, and it came with this orange mini skein as the mini. And then I'm gonna put this down here. And then this skein is very sad looking. This is the big 100-gram skein. Let's go with this mini skein. Love it. So It had been wound up for a while and I hadn't done anything with it, and I was trying to figure out what socks I wanted to bring and start, because obviously I had finished my Kindred Spirit socks. I knew I was bringing my Sebastian the Crab socks, and I wanted something new, and I wanted something that could be kind of vanilla-y, but like had a little bit of fancy to it and was like a little bit different. And also keeping the mindset of using the nice things and treating it as kind of like a vacation project, and like this was a fun treat yourself moment. So I found this sock set that had been wound up and was sitting in a little project bag underneath a bunch of other yarn that is also waiting to be turned into socks, and was like, okay, this will be the base. We will start with this and we will move forward from here. And that resulted in a lot of research and thinking about it, and my friends, resulted in this sock. I am so over the moon with these socks, my friends. I am just overjoyed with how they turned out. This is the Colorwork Cuff Club pattern collection by Summerlee that's currently releasing. I believe this year's is actually almost over because she started in August of last year, but I've seen things that are saying that she's gonna do it again. I don't know that for certain, but I've seen a few little rumblings that it may be happening again. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But for 2024 and 5, I guess, because it started last August. This was the March colorwork chart, and I thought it fit kind of in like a 70s vibe ish. So much fun. And I threw in a little bit of white for the background of the flowers, and then I also threw in a little bit of gold for the middle of the flowers as well. This one is looking a little wonky. It is very okay, I do promise. This was an interesting colorwork chart. It's very short, and for about 4 rows you have 3 colors going, plus very, very long floats, which is not a deal breaker. Not a bad thing by any means. Just something to keep in mind. If you are new to colorwork on socks, that might be a bit of a struggle. But if you have time to just like sit and power through the colorwork chart, again, it's super short. I think it's like maybe 10 rows, maybe 12 at the most. So it goes very quickly. So if you can sit, and if you have all your yarns lined up while you have the 3 attached, it's really easy just to like crank it out and get it done. The original is also much shorter, but because I love this yarn and I wanted to show it off, I made mine longer. And yeah, shadow wrap heel like normal. And I love it so much. So I finished that. So I made sure to have everything done past the color work for the trip. So everything from here down I did on the trip, which I think I'm very proud of because I did it while doing a lot. And then I got my second one cast on. So there was no waiting around, there was no hesitation, and no second sock syndrome here. We've got the second one going, the color work is done, and now I'm just plugging along. So I've got a nice vanilla sock ahead of me, which is really wonderful. I've got more situations coming up where having a vanilla sock like this will come in really handy. So I am so excited about these. And again, they're gonna look so freaking cute with my dog Martens and my Birkenstocks and my sneakers. I am so excited. Why does it have to be so hot all the time? I just want to wear my socks. No one is stopping me from wearing my socks. It's just a matter of would it be a comfortable thing to do. So this is so much fun. I've had my eye on this particular month cuff that's part of this collection for a long time, and this is really what I was looking for. I'm so happy with this. So again, this is the Colorwork Cuff Club by Summerlee. This is the March cuff. You cannot, as of right now, you can't get them individually. You have to buy the whole collection. But all of them are just so cute. Yeah, like, they're so adorable. And I think there was a pair, I can't remember what month it was, but I made the socks I made for my mom for her birthday. For her birthday? Yeah, from her birthday. Were from there as well. And I plan on making many more. So I love these. And I'm also just so happy that I was able to like power through and get that done while we were doing stuff. It was just a really fun time, good memories with these socks. They're our Fredericksburg trip socks, and I love that. So that was a new cast on. Doesn't really count because it's almost done, you know. Next up was also for this trip that I cast this on. This is gonna take a significantly longer amount of time, but all things considered, I have powered through quite well, if I do say so myself. I recently purchased from a local to me yarn store, Craftique Studios, which is just right up the road. This is the same yarn that I'm using for my Misurina tee, but in a different color. Clearly there's a theme. Blue is very popular this summer, apparently. And I got some of that to make another summery top, and I debated about what I was gonna do. There was a lot of rumblings in my head of what I wanted to do, and then I decided to stick with what I know and what I know fits me well. And what is tangled here? Something that's catching. So I am making a Tolsta tee, not a tank, which I have made before, but a Tolsta tee, which I don't actually have a finished Tolsta tee. I do have one of my needles that's in a Taylor Swift themed yarn, but this is a summery one that I will eventually have. But all things considered, it's a fingering weight sweater, and the stitches are tiny, the rows are really long. I haven't yet divided for the sleeves, but I am like about to. I need to measure the this measurement, the length of the arm, the raglan measurement. I need to do that before I divide for the sleeves, because I did have to knit at least an inch. I needed to lengthen that some amount with the other one that I have in my needles before I divided for the sleeves, just to make sure I had enough room under my arm, because no one likes one that's like really tied up underneath your armpit. That is not a fun time, and we have the power to make it uniquely ours. So I am so happy with the fabric that I'm creating. It's really nice and lightweight. This is like a simple tee that I was wanting to make. It will be short sleeved. It's in this really nice blue. I think it will just be a really nice like little t-shirt, very lightweight, and we're just plugging along. So nothing really too much to say. I didn't really work on it a whole lot while we were out and about. I didn't bring it with me because though it would have fit in my bag, there's a lot of like increase here but not here, but increase here and not here X times, and then do it here, not here, X times, and that was just too much for me to keep up with while we were out and about. Not an easy to pick up and put down type project. So this was in the car project. This was before bed project, that kind of thing, in the morning project before we all gather together. But yes, This is in my new Beautiful Sister bag, which I got as a kit, which is a new acquisition. This came as a kit with, it was this bag, and then we're gonna go right into acquisition. So quick little break. Here's the chapter divider. I don't know what you want to call it. Let's just talk about the things that are new that I have. So, very official, very, very professional. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I have this bag. It came as a kit with this sock set, which is from Salty Blonde Fibers. This is the Efflorescence colorway, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. It came with 2 mini skeins, and a 100-gram skein. And it was a nice little collab between, come on. Nice little collab between Salty Blonde and Beautiful Sister. My mom and my sister also got yarn and a bag as well. So I'm not sure what exactly this is going to be. I have thoughts. Obviously, socks would be the easy answer. But this is just so gorgeous. I kind of want to turn it into something that would be around my neck. And my friends, if you follow, which you should be, if you follow Shanalines Designs on Instagram, she's got this really cute scarf thing coming out that uses a sock set like this, because I think she did it in a collab with Kettle and Hearth Fibers, using a sock set similar, and that would really show it off. And I don't think it's quite out yet, but I think it's coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. If you've got these little sock sets that you are wanting to use but you don't know if maybe they might be too special for socks, if you're of that mindset, which is totally okay and valid, I might make that first and then see what I have left over and maybe put that towards socks of some sort. It's got a name. We should know the name so we can share the name. That would be helpful. It's called Duplex. And as of right now, on Tuesday, June 10th, says it's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, June 11th. So, by the time this podcast should be coming out, it should be out. So go get a copy or go check out a copy. Good stash buster. Good way to play with color. And I'm intrigued by this construction. I don't really know how it is made, but I really want to make it with this. This pattern includes directions for 3 lengths. Comes with schematic, photo tutorials, and a video explaining the joining process. Nice. I'm excited. So, we're just thinking things through together, you know, because again, we're using the nice things. This is a really nice thing and I really, really want to use it, and we're not going to put it off because of not using the nice things. So this will be used soon. Other yarn acquisitions. This upcoming one is for a test knit. This is the one that I was mentioning for Briana, Arlene. This is the High Deserts sweater. This is going to be my main color, which is Cascade 220 Sport. And just this icy blue colorway, or icy blue. It's not icy blue. What am I thinking? It's like a light white gray with a little bit of purple brown undertones. I think the colorway might have been like Moonstone. It is not on the label, we just have a number, which is 1067. I do have way more of these, but I just pulled out 2 to show you. There is a little bit of color work and a little bit of texture and mosaic knitting, which is very exciting. And I will be using these 2 colors. It does not use a ton. All of that excitement and pizzazz is around the cuff of the sleeve. So that is very exciting. I think these will be really beautiful together, and I am looking forward to starting this. This deadline is pretty far away, so this is not my top priority at the moment, but it will be soon. So that is exciting. In other test knitting news, this is not a yarn acquisition. I'm using completely all stash pulled from the yarn wall. I am test knitting another sweater for Olga of Olga Putano Designs. I test knit for her once before, years ago. And by years, I mean like maybe 4 years ago. She has incredible color work sweaters. There are so many of them that I have in my queue, and I'm really excited to be testing this one. It is a scrappy sweater, so I have pulled my color palette that is collected on the couch over there. It is at this moment too much to hold and show you, so hopefully by the next time I record we'll have more progress. This deadline is a little bit more soon, and so that is my top priority at the moment, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I've got a few fun like different textures in there as well. The pattern, I believe her sample used 4 colors in total, but it is literally called a Scrappy Yoke sweater. I don't know if that's the finished title, it may change, but it's scrappiness is the point of this sweater. So if you want to do that, you can. It's very easy to do that. So I'm very excited. And lastly, the thing that I am really honestly most excited about, I don't know why this is bringing me so much joy, and the reason why I'm trying to get my Misurina done so I can use those needles, because I want to use this yarn to make another Avenue vest by Tori Yu. I made an Avenue vest earlier this year in January. I had it finished in February, or no, I had it finished in January. So maybe I started it in December, I can't remember. Did not take me long to knit. It's a great pattern by Tori Yu. I did the crew neck version. I'm not sure if I'll do the crew neck version or the V-neck version. Either way, I just really wanted a pink vest, and this yarn spoke to me so much. This is Emma's yarn in the Simply Spectacular DK base, and this is the May 25 colorway. And where did I get this? Let me tell you, this is a fun, exciting, this is not focusing. There we go. Sam, my dear sweet husband, who loves me dearly, and I love him very dearly, is so kind when it comes to so many things, all the things. But especially when it comes to yarn and yarn stores and shopping for yarn and getting more yarn and all that kind of stuff. He's very kind, very sweet, very understanding. Which I love. It is just so awesome. When we were driving to Fredericksburg, the GPS had us go through Dripping Springs, which, if you're unfamiliar, I was gonna say, if you're unfamiliar with the geography of Texas, and I was going to explain where that was, I can't really explain where that is either, but it's on the way. It's in between Houston and Fredericksburg, which is in the hill country of Texas. And in Dripping Springs, my friends, is the Sated Sheep, which is a great yarn shop. And I had never been before. I had heard a lot about it. I followed them on Instagram for a while. And as we were driving through, we literally drove right past it. And I just happened to look over and saw the sign and was like, oh, there it is. We should stop on our way back. And we did, and it was great. The selection that they have is quite extensive. They have everything organized very well, and they've got a few other fun things that are non-knitting related in the shop as well. And so yeah, we showed up slightly before they opened, and so we had a little bit of wander around where the shop is, and walked in when they opened, and I had a nice little browse, and Sam hung out and was very patient, and now I'm gonna have a new Avenue vest, and I'm so excited. This yarn just really brings me a lot of joy. It also kind of, for some reason, is leaning in my mind a little bit more fall. I think it's because of this orange. So, not that we are limited to certain colors within certain seasons. Goodness gracious, you can wear whatever color you want, whenever you want. But I feel like it'll lend itself very nicely to that like fun end of summer, fall time. Can we figure out how to wear it in the heat of summer? I don't know. I don't know if I can, but we may try. But I'm really excited about this. So this will be an Avenue vest by Tori Yu. And I just need to finish my Misurina tea so I can have those needles. Like, that is really what is pushing me to get that done, because I want to start this so badly. So badly. Anyway. The things we do to motivate ourselves, right? The things we do. If it works, it works, you know? Like, you do what you gotta do. It's all okay. It's all fine. Anyway, my friends, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope that you are all doing well. If you have various crafty plans, I hope that they are going very well and they are successful. I feel like every time I sit down to chat with you, Rusty's asleep and he's twitching. He must be dreaming. Every time I sit down to chat with you all, I am reminded that I need to like make actual Tour de Fleece plans and what do I want to do. And I just, every time I sit down, I think about it, I get up, I move on, I forget, I come back, I sit down, I remember. I really just need to do it so I can, one, share them with you all, and then also actually have a plan. So I'm not like, what am I doing? It's not until July sometime, so there's still time to come up with a plan. But man, time is moving fast. I feel like it was just May, and now we're almost halfway through June, which is kind of crazy. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, I'm excited. I've got fun things in mind. I just need to make some more solidified plans and things that are not like woo up in the air. I might do this, I might do that. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, so I can do this. That's the plan that I need to make. And those are decisions, my friends, which I don't like making. And I know I'm not the only one. Anyway, I have the social medias, I have show note information, I have tech editing information, all the various places. If I happen to forget anything, or if you want to ask a question or just say hi, please feel free to send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to chat. Yes, we have my crafty plans. That Misurina tea is getting done, so I can cast on my Avenue vest, because I want to so badly, which I've just been saying for the past 10 minutes, it feels like, over and over again. That is my crafty plan. And also finish all the various pairs of socks, and start my test knits, and finish my test knits as well. It's just a busy time when it comes to crafting. Got a lot of crafty plans this year, that are this summer, that are also not knitting related. They're in process, and once they get further along, we will talk about them. But I do have other non-knitting, fiber-related crafty plans rumbling around in my brain that I'm working on, and I'm very excited. Anyway, that was vague. I apologize. All good things, all very fun, happy, exciting things that I just love. Love being creative. It just brings me so much joy. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me and picking this podcast to watch. I appreciate it. There are so many other podcasts out there to watch, so you picking this one means a lot to me. Everything that you could do, liking, subscribing, commenting, helps this channel, my podcast, immensely. The algorithm moves in mysterious ways. We have no idea what it wants, what it likes, or I don't anyway. So if you do any of those things, that would be wonderful. I would really, really appreciate it. It helps out any of the other YouTubers that you enjoy watching. And yeah, that's all that I have for you guys this week. And I need to move on with my day and get this edited so it can go up soon. So anyway, I will stop waffling and move on with my day and try not to cast out my Avenue vest, even though I really want to. Anyway, I will go. I will see you all next time. You are wonderful. You are enough. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you all later.